initiated all these proposals of change?
So the process is pretty in depth. The NCAA does a really nice job with this. So what they do is we put together a survey. We ask questions first from the membership. So all the coaches get to submit, all administrators get to submit potential rule changes that they'd like to see. The wording is important, but it's not critical because we can take it and interpret it the way we want. Then we build a survey based on that stuff and send it back to them, and then they kind of, take the survey, get us the feedback. Then we sit down and have a 3-day meeting out in Indianapolis.
In your opinion, what are the most significant changes in terms of affecting a wrestling match?
Obviously the 3-point takedown. It's been 2 points forever. But I think, and this is the committee's opinion, wrestling had become a take you down and hold you down sport. So it was getting mundane. If you do a different type of scoring, so you get a wrestling match and let's say, it's 27-9 at the end of a dual meet. And I scored 13 points, you scored 2 in our match, but I only get 4 points for a dual meet. Why not give me 13 points, not give you 2 so you can contribute to your team instead of getting 0? So we need more points on the board. It makes it exciting for this day and age. Everybody wants to see high scoring points. Now, we don't want to see sloppy matches and things like that, but it's important that the scores are different and the action's more, because it was boring, and I love the sport, but I was like, oh my God, he's stalling. Why aren't we calling stalling? And that's going to be another difference. It never in college wrestling did the top guy get called for stalling. It's going to change if they're on an ankle. If they grab an ankle, that's going to be a 5-count stall call. So if you hold it for 5 seconds, it's an automatic stall. Outside the 3-point takedown, the sequence review is another big one. When we were challenging a position, we would challenge if there was a takedown. It was too early, it was out of bounds, whatever the call. So now the referees can look at that specific incident that we want to challenge, but they'll go until the wrestling is stopped. So you take me down and I get a reversal, but then they say the takedown never happened. Well, instead of it being 2-2, it's now going to be 2-0 me, and my reversal becomes a takedown.
For the average wrestling fan, shows up and watches these matches, what do you think the impact will be in terms of enjoying the match?
I think they're going to see more action. Tech falls and pins were down last year. So now you'll get more tech falls because 3, 6, 9, 12, you're there. You're really close. You get 4 takedowns. It's maybe 1 less takedown a match. It's so there's a potential to get on the mat, do your thing, and get off the mat a little bit quicker and show some excitement.
Because of the rule changes, they go into effect this season, right?
They do.
Okay. Does what goes on in here change in terms of your approach of coaching these kids?
The emphasis gets put a little bit more on neutral position with takedowns. So yeah, we change that, but every team in the country does more neutral than any other position. But you do have to tweak how you do top, because kids are stuck in their ways, so they're riding a boot, grabbing an ankle. That's stalling. That's a 5-second count right away. So there's different things we have to figure out how to use our position and our strength and our leverage to break them down, ride them without getting called for stalling.
All right, this story is not about your preseason predictions or what have you.
Okay.
But just one comment about, given all the new rules, knowing what these kids can do well, knowing what you might be able to implement that'll help them. Just your thoughts about going into the season about your team.
I like my team. I think we have a very good team. Last year our identity was Ethan Laird. And that's a good thing. Like, Ethan was special, right? Homegrown, did all the right things, great leader, great role model, everything. Great representative for the institution and the program. Now we're waiting for the next kid, and there's healthy competition amongst all weights to be that next guy. And I think that's important. We have that this year. Last year, everybody just defaulted to Ethan, and they all still trained hard and worked hard, but it was like, at the Penn State match, to use an example, they were all rooting for him and cheering for him, and they were doing it somewhat for the rest of the guys, but not as much as Ethan. This year, we have a very good team, and we have kids that have had a lot of success in their careers, in their lives, but none of them have done it at the level that they wanted to do it yet. So they're hungry, they're pushing each other, they're holding each other accountable, and I think our identity is starting to form as a larger group, and I think that's really important.